sun, so when it is a sunny day, the colours melt into the room, making it burst of colour. It is from Leintwardine Church, which is St Mary Magdalene Church. It is in the corner of the room on the right. This stained glass window is from the Easter story, where Jesus rises from the dead and Mary Magdalene thinks Jesus is the gardener. The artist who made this window is called Jill Halliday, who made it in 1973, and it went into the church in 1974. She got paid £100, but it should have been more because it's so beautiful. I like this window because it is so delicately painted, and the artist hasn't put a beard on Jesus, so she's done it different to a lot of other artists who put beards on Jesus. The artist has done it in 3 separate parts. The bottom is Leintwardine Church, the middle is Jesus and Mary, and the top is the 3 crosses with the 3 Marys on. Mary Magdalene traditionally wears red in the pictures or stained glass windows.
Mr. and Mrs. Williams collect food for the local food bank every week. Mr. Williams also researched the window's history.
How and why did you research the window?
Well, I researched it because somebody came to me and said, there's no notice on that window as to who it's for, or who did it, or what's it about. So I had to start from scratch.
Where did you find the information?
Well, I didn't know where to look to start with, so I had to look through old books and papers, and even though it's quite new in terms of the church, it was still difficult to find out. And eventually I found papers which told me when it was put in, who paid for it, and who made it.
How long did it take to research the window?
Well, when I started, not too long, perhaps a few weeks, but behind it there's a lot of questions that arose in my mind because I was looking at that window. I looked at all the other windows too.
What do you like about the window?
Well, I like the colours in it, they're very bright, but I particularly like the drawing and the colours of the church. I think that's beautifully done.
You may not have noticed, but there is a small picture at the top of this window representing Jesus being crucified alongside 2 other men.
In the middle of the window, we can see Jesus risen from the dead with holes in his hand and feet. Mary Magdalene is traditionally shown wearing red. I think she is kneeling in respect, and that Jesus respects her as he is his best friend.
You may have noticed that there is a church at the bottom of the window. That is this church, the one we are in. Mary Magdalene is the patron saint of our church.
When we looked at the window, we noticed Mary was kneeling at Jesus' feet, a clear sign of the respect Mary had for him. More interesting, though, was our discovery of the fact that Mary is described as Jesus' best friend, at a time when men typically had very little regard for women, as it is remarkable that Jesus was seen to show such great respect for everyone as equals. This led us to think about respect in our own community, who we respected and why. We hope you will continue watching to see our interviews with some of the many highly respected figures in our community.
Reverend Mike Catling is our parish priest. He comes into school to lead assemblies based on the Bible. He also joins our church services at Harvest, Christmas and Easter.
Why did you choose to be a vicar?
Okay, I'm not sure I chose as much as I was chosen, in the sense that I was a primary school teacher in London. I was thinking about changing what I was doing, and on a visit to Buckfast Abbey in Devon, I got this sense that maybe I should think about training to be a vicar. So when I got back to London, which is where I was living, I went to see my vicar at the church where I attended, and he suggested that I had to get in contact with somebody called a diocesan director of ordinands, who has responsibility for deciding whether somebody should go forward to what's called a bishop's panel to see whether they should be recommended to start training to be a vicar. Okay. Fortunately, my sense of that's what I should be doing proved to be true, and I was recommended for training, and that's how I ended up becoming a vicar. So as much as me choosing, I think I was also chosen. It was something that God prompted me to do.
What do you like about being a vicar?
The best thing about being a vicar has to be being with people. I like being with people. They share their stories. I'm with them at times of celebration, such as baptisms and weddings. I'm with them at times of sadness, when there are funerals or serious illness in the family. So it's a great privilege to be able to spend time sharing people's lives at quite an important and deep level, as well as a kind of very happy level at times. So it's very much being with people.
What do you like about doing our school assemblies on Thursdays?
What I like about Thursdays coming into school is the way in which the children respond to the questions I ask, the ideas they have. Some of their thinking challenges me and makes me go away and think about what they've said. So yeah, it's just being able to have that kind of question and answer and interaction together, and you're always much more awake than a congregation.
Mr. Doug Griffiths is our local butcher and a highly respected member of our local community. He even has a new misericord dedicated to him and his shop in church. How long have you been a butcher in Leintwardine for?
About 55 years.
Have you had any other jobs in the past?
No. No, my father died when I was 18, and I tried to carry the business on.
How do you think the community would be affected if your shop wasn't here?
Well, 55 years ago, there was a lot of shops in Leintwardine, and it's with the start of supermarkets, we used to have 4 grocers and two bakers and 2 butchers, and you could get everything in Leintwardine. You didn't have to go out of the village to buy anything.
If you could change anything in the village, what would you change?
Well, Leintwardine's got quite a good community spirit, but a lot of people come here to retire. If I could change it, I'd have some younger people in the village.
Mrs. Doris Irvin is a lovely lady. We respect her for giving up her time to listen to school children read.
Why do you come to Leintwardine to listen to people read?
Well, because I enjoy doing it. and I enjoy reading, and I enjoy listening to other people do it. And what I enjoy is when I hear them improve.
Would you say reading is one of your hobbies?
I definitely would, and if you could wear glasses out, I would wear them out in about a week. But no, I do love reading, and I read a great deal. Yes, it's a great friend to you, is reading.
Have you ever read religious stories to children?
Yes, indeed, because I did actually used to run our Sunday school. And so I read a lot of religious stories, and I can remember quite a lot of them. And I know that Jesus does want me for a sunbeam, I think, possibly.
If you could change anything about Leintwardine, what would it be?
I would certainly have some traffic lights at the bridge, because I see, when I stand waiting for the bus, I see some very, very bad driving there. So I think I would like to see a little bit more traffic control there.
Madam Morris teaches us French every Monday. She always supports our school events and is always happy to see us.
Definitely. Do I like teaching French? I love teaching French in Leintwardine School. I think it's partly because I love being with young people, and also because the Leintwardine children are particularly special. They love learning, and we have lots of fun in the lessons, and I really enjoy every minute of my Monday afternoons.
What do you like about this particular village?
I've lived in this village for the longest that I've ever lived anywhere. That's amazing, isn't it? Because I've moved around quite a lot with my teaching jobs, including in Africa and France and China. So I ended up in Leintwardine, and I absolutely love this village. Partly because the people in it are so nice. You know, don't you, that people always make a place, don't you? But it's also a very beautiful spot. I live quite near the village green. I live near the fish and chip shop and a couple of pubs, and the people are all so friendly. We have a joke in our family that if we pop round the corner to the shop, we say, I'll be back in 2 minutes, and it's usually at least half an hour because you meet so many nice people to meet on the way.
Mr. Clay Morris is our Chair of Governors. He is often in school to watch us work or to support our events. He keeps bees and teaches us all about them and other mini-bees. He is also a lay preacher and spends lots of time supporting the church. What do you like about being a governor?
I like coming into school because there's always interesting stuff going on here, and I love to see what you guys are doing. For example, learning maths, because I was never very good at maths when I was at school.
What do you do as a governor?
My main job as a governor is to be the chair. So when we have a governor's meeting, I am in charge of what happens, and I try not to say much, but to let the other governors say what they need to say. And then I'm also the maths link governor, and that's where I get to learn how you do your maths.
What is your role at the church?
I help to lead some of the services in church, and I always enjoy that because when we read some little part of the Bible, I find there's interesting stuff in there. For example, the window. You know that Mary met Jesus in a garden, and actually she thought he was the gardener. And that's one reason why I also help to look after the churchyard, because class 2 are coming next week and they're going to do a bug hunt in the churchyard. That's great.
If you could change something in the village, what would it be?
It would be more families with children of your age coming to live in Leintwardine, because there's too many of us old people in Leintwardine and the school isn't full. So we need the school to be full. And it would be really nice if those new families also came to church.
Mr. Riggs is a sports coach. He teaches a sport at the school, but also voluntarily runs clubs in his evenings and weekends. He is also the treasurer, a very busy man, and another highly respected member of our community.
What makes you give up so much time to teach children sports?
The easy answer is because I like doing it. And also, I like working with children, and the children like doing what we want. And when I first started doing football, my son, who was 4, was lying in his cot just before he was going to sleep, and he looked at me just before he went to sleep, and he said, "It's so exciting going to sleep knowing you're going to play football next morning." And I thought, well, if my son feels like that, then so do other children.
What do you like about teaching at Leintwardine?
The children. All of them are interested in what you do. All of them try ever so hard, and all of them are very pleased and respectful of the person who's teaching them. It's nice.
Mr. Sebo is the ex-village policeman. We often see him out and about in the village collecting litter. What a kind thing to do. It keeps our village looking lovely.
So how long have you lived in this village?
About 30 years, which is a long time.
Yeah. How long were you a policeman and when did you stop?
For about the same amount of time. I started off in London as a policeman down in there, and then after about 8 years, I transferred here, because where I live now used to be a police station.
We often see you walking around the village picking up litter, but what made you start doing it?
I walk for exercise, and picking up litter is just something to do while I'm walking. You know, if I see a cigarette packet on the floor, a packet of crisps, and I'm walking past it, it's easy for me to pick it up and put it in the bin.
Okay.
No more than that.
Who do you respect and why?
I respect most of the people that live in this village because I know them, they know me, and they have the old-fashioned virtues of speaking to you and saying hello. I'm from London, I'm a Londoner, and it's not so easy down there. You know, if you say hello to somebody down there, they think, you know, what is he speaking to me for? Whereas here it is totally different. In this village, everybody will want to say hello to you, and they will want you to say hello to them. So the respect goes both ways all the time.
What do you like about the village, and if you could change anything, what would it be?
What I like about Leintwardine, it is a working village. When I first came here, it was even more so. There were haulage yards with lorries that move cattle about, and also grain and fruit and all the rest of it. So there are other villages that are quieter, that are what they might call a retirement village. There's not the work there. Whereas this place here, well, you can tell when you're looking around, all the lorries that are going down the road, they are working. At certain times of the year, you'll see the potatoes being collected, you'll see the grain being collected. All the time, work is going on like that. So that is why I like Leintwardine. It is a working village. Everybody here works. You're so lucky to come to this school and work here.